So, your eBay buyer hits you with the dreaded item not delivered. Well, you check the tracking and yep, it says delivered. And now you're stuck between a frustrated customer and the risk of getting a defect on your eBay account. Something that can seriously hurt your eBay performance. Now, we're talking lower visibility, fewer sales, and in some cases, even account limitations. But don't worry, if you follow eBay's guidelines, you will be fine. And that's exactly why I made this video for you. I'm going to show you the exact process that I use to handle item not received cases right away. This is the same workflow I follow in my own eBay dropshipping store, and it helped me protect my profits, keep my customers happy, and maintain a top performing eBay metric. So let's just dive in right away. Before we start moving forward, I just want to make sure that, it's very clear why this is a really important topic. If you ignore an INR case or item not received case and not act on time, eBay can issue a defect on your account. Defects are basically eBay's way of saying you didn't meet their customer service standards. And then, when you collect too many of them, it can trigger a domino effect, which means that your seller rating drops, your listings get pushed down in search results, you start losing visibility in traffic, your seller level can be lowered to below standard, and worst case scenario, your account can be limited or suspended. All that from a single missed message or late response to these buyers' issues. And that's why it's so important, guys. And we should never let one just slip our hands, all right? So let's just say that a buyer has opened a case and you haven't resolved it yet, all right? Now, in this video, I'm demonstrating the process using eBay Germany Marketplace, okay? But the interface is, almost identical to eBay.com and other eBay marketplaces. So don't worry. So to view your open cases from buyers, what you do is you head over to your eBay Seller Hub, okay, like this, and then from there you go over the orders, and then you just click there, requests and disputes. You see? Okay, and this section is where you will find every active case opened by your buyers, whether it's an item not received, a return request, or like a dispute, all right? In my opinion, I think this is like super straightforward. Don't ignore this section, right? Checking here regularly helps you stay on top of issues before they turn into defects or negative feedback, all right? So guys, before we dive in deeper, if you're serious about protecting your eBay store and avoiding costly mistakes, just make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, because we're always dropping real practical strategies just like this one. And if you want to boost your eBay product research process and find products based on real sales data, you can subscribe to Zik Analytics for just $1 for the first week. All right, so let's talk about the real solution to your item not delivered problems. First and most important step is to make sure that you're providing a valid tracking number. This is especially critical for drop shippers. If you are a reseller, you likely won't run into this issue as much because you're shipping items yourself, right? And usually through a company that eBay recognizes, and so tracking updates like automatically and it's okay. But if you're drop shipping from Amazon, for example, it's a different story, because Amazon sometimes provides their TBA tracking numbers, and those aren't accepted by eBay. That means that even if the item is delivered, eBay might not be able to confirm it, and that can lead to the buyer opening, an item not received case. To avoid that, you need to convert Amazon's tracking numbers into formats that eBay supports, and you have two options to get your conversions done, all right? You can use an automation tool that handles everything for you. These tools will automatically take the tracking number that you received from Amazon, and it starts with TBA, which is they will convert into a tracking number that eBay can read. So this way you, eBay, and your buyer will all be able to track the delivery events. So if the product arrives, it's going to become much harder for the buyer to claim it never did. And the second option is ideal for those who are just starting out and not yet using automation tools. You can use Alternative suppliers to Amazon, such as Walmart, AliExpress, which provides tracking numbers that eBay recognizes without any issues. Then, as your store grows and you begin managing a larger number of products, then you can start using an automation tool that will handle everything for you, including converting Amazon TBA tracking numbers into ones that eBay can read. For example, AutoDS has a built-in system that's called QTrack to convert your Amazon tracking numbers. And TrackerBot, which automates tracking uploads, and since eBay no longer supports Bluecare and Echoline, it now uses VDTrack. It's a reliable, compliant service that ensures your tracking numbers are recognized by eBay. So using either of these tools will help you stay, compliant and reduce your defect rate and give you a peace of mind just knowing that your tracking is always up to date. Now, let's just break this down using a real case as an example. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to click on See Details, all right, to open the case. And that's going to take you straight to the case page where you can see like everything. Look at that. Everything related to the buyer's claim. Next, you have to make sure that you read any message that the buyer may have left. And this is important because it's important to understand exactly what they're saying, whether they're claiming non-delivery or a delivery to the wrong address or just asking for an update, right? And once you got a sense of the situation, then it's time to dig a bit deeper into the transaction. And then you have to click on the order number, which will take you to the order details. And then from there, you will find the tracking number you uploaded to eBay. Just click on that blue tracking link because that's the same one the buyer sees, all right? And then you're going to get the full history, the full tracking history. So now in this specific case, the tracking clearly shows that the item was delivered and within the estimated delivery window. But even with that proof, the buyer is still claiming that they didn't receive it. So what to do next? My friends, that's where we go into confirmation and communication, and I'm going to walk you through it step by step. All right. So to confirm whether there was actually a problem with the delivery, the first thing that I'm going to do is just to head to the supplier that I'm working with. And in this case, I'm going to go to my Amazon account, the one that I used to fulfill the order. And once I find the order, I just check the delivery details that Amazon provides. And in this example right here, Amazon tells me that the package was left inside the buyer's letterbox. All right. Now, that's something that happens a lot. Many buyers don't even think to check their mailbox. It happens. All right. They assume nothing was delivered just because no one knocked on the door or rang the doorbell. So before you jump into any refund or dispute, your first move should be to reach out to the buyer and explain what actually happened. And to make things easier for you, in the description below, I added a simple message template that you can use to let the buyer know that the item was delivered and left in their mailbox. All right, being very friendly and polite. Okay, it's a long message to give like the best customer service ever. All right, in this case, since it was left inside the letterbox, usually Amazon does not provide any pictures as proof of delivery. So that's another thing that you have to pay attention to. If Amazon does provide you with an image as proof of delivery, then my friends, just make sure to adapt the template and provide the image accordingly and send that image to the buyer in private. And why in private? Because eBay does not allow attachments in cases. Or you attach the image by using a direct link, and then you can go to websites like imgbb.com, and once the upload is complete, the site will provide you with a link that you can add to the case, and this link will direct anyone to the image. But anyway, after sending this message, you should just wait for his response and take action accordingly. And many buyers end up finding the package and never close the case. And some will close the case immediately as they find it, and others would just simply respond that they haven't received any package, So like I mentioned earlier, there will be always like buyers who claim an item wasn't delivered, even when everything clearly shows that it was. all right? And it's going to be frustrating, but it happens. And then at this point, you got 3 options, all right? First, you can stand your ground, remind the buyer that the item was delivered, and provide proof like a tracking number that shows that item was delivered to the correct address of the buyer. Then wait for the case to resolve in your favor, which is not a good idea to leave opened, all right? Also, you don't have to just wait around to the buyer to respond. Okay. Second, you can call or chat with eBay directly and ask them to close the case in your favor. And in most cases, they will do it like immediately, like right on the spot, only if you have provided a valid tracking number. Lastly, if the item wasn't really delivered to your customer, then just request a refund from your supplier and then issue a refund to the buyer so you don't take a loss. If the item was not received, there's nothing you can do. Nothing. All right. Now, if the item really wasn't delivered, maybe, it was lost in transit, shipped to the wrong address, or never marked as delivered, this is when you will need to request a refund from your supplier. And I'm going to walk you through the steps with Amazon. But just keep in mind, the same approach works for Walmart and AliExpress. All right. As long as you have clear evidence that the item didn't reach the customer, you are covered. All right. And here's how to request a refund on Amazon. First, go to your orders in your Amazon account to find the order, and then you click Ask Product Question. You confirm the product by clicking Select. You choose When will I get this? And then you click OK, connect me to start a chat. On the next page, you click Help with a different item. All right. And then you paste Amazon order number, select the product, and then choose It shows as delivered, but it's not here. And then you click here, I need more help. Then you choose Start Chatting Now. And then in the automated chat, you select Report Missing Item or Package. And then you reply, entire package is missing. And then again, package is missing. And then you just answer any follow-up questions that they ask, because Amazon support is usually fast and straightforward. They will issue a full refund. You will just need to confirm the refund method. I usually go with the original payment method. It's simple, it's clean, it protects your business. So now that everything's sorted and you got the refund from your supplier, the only thing left to do is to refund your buyer, and that's also super straightforward. You just go to the INR, which is item not received case, and then you just hit refund now to complete the process. See, it's straightforward. A quick but important tip: always handle INR cases directly from the case page, because that way every step of the process, like your messages, your actions, everything is tracked and saved, so eBay can see it all, even your private messages, which helps protect you in cases there's any dispute or follow-up later on. Also, guys, please never process any type of payments outside eBay's platform. That's against their policy, and they might add limits on your account. So if this video helped you understand how to handle items not received cases like a pro, just make sure to drop a comment below. Let me know if you dealt with a tricky case before. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a strategy that could save your store from a defect or a refund. Before we wrap everything up, let me just leave you with a few quick tips to help you avoid defects in the future, right? And here are the big ones. Always provide a valid tracking number. Ship your orders on time, every time, all right? Respond to cases within 24 hours. Double check delivery status before taking action. Twice a month, communicate with eBay by phone or chat to close cases where there was no response from the buyer after the due date, as well as cases with tracking numbers that clearly show the product was delivered to the buyer's address. All right, just stick to these and you will keep your account healthy and your customers happy, which is a big deal. So that's it for the video. Thank you so much for being here. Keep moving forward, and I'll see you next time.